What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to more Call to Arms Gates of Hell, and today I've got the most exciting news that I've heard in a very long time in Gates of Hell. And as you can see right in front of your screen, we have got the content update 1 in Gates of Hell. Now, I must in addition to add that these are not probably the final adjustments per se. I mean, it is coming up very soon and there's no date yet, but these are probably subject to change, so not everything will happen that will be happening, so just take in mind for that, just in case. Now, in the content update 1, we have got stuff like the major update 1 itself, which is a big which is something, one of the major improvements that a lot of the community have wanted. We've also got squad redesign. We've also got new units and maps, which I'm really excited for, and then what is next to come in the future of Gates of Hell. So guys, if you do like what you see right now, then make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you are like the video. Yes, because that makes sense. Make sure you like the video and also comment down below what is your most favorite thing for this update of the content update 1. Is it the squad redesign? Is it the new maps and units, or what is coming to the future? So let me know in the comments down below. So without further ado, we're just going to try and get through this as quickly as we can, and then we're going to see what exciting stuff is coming to Gates of Hell. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's firstly start of all with the start, which says, "Hi everyone, it's been a month since our launch and it has been an amazing launch with our excellent community," which is of course very true. You guys probably are one of the best communities that I've seen in a long time, and it doesn't really look like I go into the community feed, but I do, and you guys do, or I do go into the Discord server, and there's a lot of you guys that give really helpful, useful tips to each other, and it is really an amazing community. We have spent last weeks updating the game, tweaking balance and improving the stability as we tackle the most important issues. It paves way to the start of our much anticipated content update. Today we'd like to talk about what will be added to the game in our first content update. So here we go, I'm very excited for this. So major update 1. So it says major update 1 will contain a complete overhaul of human skins and updates. The appearance of soldiers will change with seasons. So I presume what it means by that is, or what it does mean by that is that when it changes seasons, so if it maybe is like in spring, or when maybe it's in the snow time like Christmas, or in the winter time I should say, or even in the summertime, you can see that the appearances of how the soldiers will look differently, as well as visually you'll see it as well. And the skins will have even better visuals, as I said, along with more variants and historical improvements. So yes, that is something which you guys have seriously obviously asked for, which is some of which our fan base was so keenly pointed out. So you guys have really said to the community, to the developers, that you really wanted to make sure that these guys get the historical improvements correct and try and make it to historically as possible. Because to be honest, of course it is good to have historical aspects, but it's also good to have some things that aren't really historical, so it kind of mixes up the gameplay a wee bit, so it makes the game more interesting. But of course the Gates of Hell developers do make this as close to historical as possible. Continuous improvement of our visuals will make the project more immersive and could pave the way for long-term plans of adding first-person mode. Now, I agree with this. The improvement visuals are something that I feel like should be really important, because when you go into that first-person mode, it seriously, when I look into it, the visuals of it doesn't look appealing to me. It still looks it's just not super clear. Like when you go into that first person and you've got all the reticles around it, it's not super clear. It's still quite I don't know the word for it, but basically it's not clear. enough. And they're saying that they're going to make the visuals will make the project more immersive and could pave the way for long-term plans of adding first person mode, because first person mode, remember, is something that's quite relatively new to Call to Arms. So it did happen in Call to Arms, the original game, and now they're adding it into, or they're implementing it into the Gates of Hell. So it's really important that, you know, not everything is going to be perfect, but I feel like the visuals are definitely going to make the first person mode more appealing to play, as well as visually better to play. Currently, I feel like third person is kind of better than the first person mode just now. Okay, moving on. So that was talking about the appearance of soldiers in the seasons, in different seasons, and the skins for kind of making it even better, like better visuals, along with various historical improvements as well, and also the visuals for making first person more better with the immersive, and could pave the way for long-term plans of adding first person mode. So definitely a big boost to us there. Next, let's move on to the squad redesign. Now, the squad redesign, additionally, the squad has been completely redesigned. We have developed realistic squads in terms of equipment, size, and compensation, if I said that right. So let's just talk about this a wee bit. So when we've developed, so they've completely, oh, I didn't mean to click off that. Additionally, the squads have been completely redesigned. Now, this is something huge. This is seriously something quite big that they have seriously added, because it says additionally, the squads have been completely redesigned. So like everything's been redesigned, everything's been changed. So I'm expecting really big improvements here. We have developed realistic squads in terms of equipment, size, and compensation, or composition, I think it is. So in terms of equipment, so that'll be like your guns, like your standard gun. You've got your side pistol, your secondary gun. You've got grenades, flash grenades. What else? Smoke grenades as well. You've also got the size. So I presume the size is like how big the size of the gun is, or realistically how big the grenade is and all that. And composition, I have no idea what that is. Maybe you guys can help me down in the comments down below on what that could mean. So yeah, leave your thoughts on that. Overhauling the current ones in the game and adding a lot of new ones. So yeah, this is something that is definitely needed. That as much as they are going to add new ones into the game, which is very exciting, I think a lot of people in the community wanted to have for the squads to currently in the game to be redesigned to make it more realistic, to kind of look as attractive as the new squads that are going to be added into the game, which makes sense. And there's no point having like the new squads having a more realistic visual than the current ones, where kind of they're maybe slightly outdated or they don't look as nice, and then that's just visually not appealing for anyone to play. So I'm kind of glad they're kind of overhauling the current ones in the game and then adding lots of new ones. And we'll come back to adding lots of new ones in a bit, because I think in the next one they're going to describe what new units are going to be added. Now more than ever, it's important to group your MG gunners with their assistants to share the ammunition. Now, what it means by this, and by the way, this is me saying, I think that when they're saying that you should put your MG groups, or for an example, they're saying you should put your MG gunners with their assisted to share ammunition. So I presume MG gunners should go with other MG gunners to share ammunition. So let's say one machine gunner or MG gunner has like a lot of ammunition in his MG gun, but the other soldier who has an MG gun might not have a lot of ammunition. So they're saying that if you group them together, then it's important, then they can share the same ammunition, and you can last it, and you can kind of tactically use your ammunition better, rather than just buying, you know, ammo boxes and ammo trucks, which would cost you points in the game. So but this is something tactically you should do already in the game, which I might do a how to later on that. But that is something that is quite important to share. That is something really important, but I like that. or buy the right squad for the right task. That is also true. It is important that you buy the right squad for the right task, because if you get an offensive squad in a defensive mission, it's not going to make sense. There's no point getting it, because they're going to be, the defense squad are going to be better holding position instead of attacking, whereas attacking squads are going to be better attacking rather than defending, if you get my point. The sheer amount of new squads will both bring diversity and a lot of new options to the table. Now, when I was reading this, I was really excited, but I was slightly worried that this could be slightly overpowered in this way, because if you're adding new squads, which I don't know yet, which we'll be carrying on reading on in a minute, I presume it will mean that maybe some units might be slightly overpowered than other units. And of course, there are other units that will be tactically good for you, such as scouts, or maybe snipers, or MG groups, or tank crew, whatever it is. Then these, I don't know what the new squads are, but apparently they'll both bring diversity and a lot of new options to the table, which is true. But I'm worried that what happens if they bring out this one new squad unit and it's completely overpowered to another unit. So let's say you get maybe another group of infantry that's quite similar to another group of infantry that's already in the game. What happens if that new unit is stronger than the current unit in game? Then a lot of people are just going to be using the new unit, and it's not going to be really a fair battle. So I'm excited, but I'm really interested to see what Gates of Hell do with this. I'm slightly worried on what could happen to this, but on the same time, I'm very excited to see what new units they're able to bring out to the table, and whether they will bring diversity and a lot of options to the table. But I guess we're just going to have to see, and guess we'll have to find out when the update comes out. Visualize how the squads set up in To visualize how the squads step up in expertise and capabilities, we added tier labels to them. Now, this is actually quite good, because currently I feel like in the game that when you get a squad, they're not labeled. Well, they are labeled like what their name is, but I presume what it means by tier labels is that if new units come to the game that are similar to already, units already in the game, I guess they're going to tier them by labeling them. So maybe like a new unit game, the new unit that will come to the game will have like a tier, will be maybe like tier 2, or I presume that's kind of like that, whereas the current unit in the game may be tier 1, so you can maybe see which one you want to pick. I think this is what it means, but again, I'm not sure. You guys are going to have to let me know in the comments down below about the tier labels and all that. So let me know what your thoughts on that is. Alright, now that's the squad redesign done, let's move on to the new units and maps. Now, new units and maps are something I was really excited for, because I want to see what tanks, especially because I'm a tank lover, so I was really excited to see what tanks there are, as well as other units as well. As you can see right here in this photo, we have a picture of an IS-2, because currently in the game for Russia, the latest tank, or the most heavy tank you can get, is the IS-1, which is similar to this, but it just doesn't have the 122mm gun. It has the 88mm gun, the same as the KV-85, I think. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, let's get straight into this. So it says, among new squads are scout recon squads with less durability but greatly increased vision. Now, this is something that's actually quite interesting, because we already do have scouts in the game, but to be honest, I feel like they're not useful at all. To be honest, I don't think a lot of people use them at all, which is why they added this into it. Now, they said they've got less durability but greatly increased vision. So this is what kind of slight confuses me. So when they say it has less durability, which makes sense, because scouts are not meant to be regular infantry. They're just there to scout, to kind of spot up above, and they have greatly increased vision, which makes complete sense. Something that really worried me about this was, if they have greatly increased visions but less health, what does that make the current one in the game? Are they just going to be used? Are they just going to be useless now? Are they going to be left to the side and not be improved at all? I mean, they did say that they are getting they're getting an overhaul of what they look like, but tactically, how are the current scouts going to be in the game? I just feel like this is good, but even if I'm pretty sure we do have already scouts in the game, there should already be scouts in the game unless I missed it. But I did have something in my head, now it's gone. But this is quite worrying that you're basically just a mini sniper. That's all you are, but you don't have a sniper rifle. And I feel like snipers can actually scout as well. I feel like you're better just scouting with a sniper than you are with a scout, because number one, a sniper can basically do the same job. But number one, a sniper I feel like has greatly increased range. It may have less durability, but you still have your defensive action of using a sniper and not getting spotted. So is there really any point in a scout recon when you can just have a sniper that does the exact same job and has a sniper rifle to shoot soldiers from 100 miles away? So it's scout recon really necessary when people are just going to be using snipers as scouts? And that's what I've been doing. I've been using sniper as scouts, and let me tell you, they've been very effective, as you've seen in probably my gameplay when I have played Call to Arms on the channel. So is adding the new squads recon, it's good and it gives it more diversity, but is it going to be more useful than a sniper when it does the exact same job? That's what I'm kind of worried about here. That's my slight confusion in this. Anyway, there will be veteran or Soviet guards squads with veterancy already applied to them. I presume veterancy means just like how well they are trained, and how well they do on the battlefield. So veterancy is like how high their rank is and how well they'll survive on battle. So when you get veteran or Soviet guards, they will already, like, the veterancy will already be applied to them. So you basically have an elite squad of guards that could be overpowered, but currently the guards in the game aren't I wouldn't say they are overpowered, because Germany have some quite good infantry as well that could match up against the guards as well with veterancy. So I feel like this could be a quite good balance, but we'll just have to see how well these veteran or Soviet guards get on with their veterancy level. And numerous choices of regular for both offensive and defensive strategies were added. This is good because I feel like when you are setting up a battle, because usually when you set up a battle in multiplayer against AI, you can choose which squad you want. So I'll give you a wee list down below when you click like a button which tells you which unit you can choose. There's a unit for offensive, defensive, irregular, and something else. I'll leave it on the screen right now, but I kind of forgot. So you can choose, but I feel like if they're now actually adding this into like regular soldiers, when you actually bring them out onto the battlefield, this will give more diversity to see if you want to play defensively or offensively, or if you just want to bring out regular troops that can do a bit of both. So that's that's good. I really like that. That's something really good that they've added into the game, and again, it gives them diversity for the players to see tactically how they're going to use those troops. So I like that. New vehicles will also be on their way into the update. Can you guess one or two, which are kind of probably on the screen right now? One of them, that looks like the KV-1S, I think, and also the IS-2. Where was I? Can you guess whether they will be doctrine units or regular units? Now, the IS-2, I feel like that could possibly be a regular unit, just because the IS-1 is already in. But don't get me wrong, the IS-2 is a very powerful unit, so it could be a doctrine unit, which is one of kind of like the special units that you get. But I generally don't know. It could be really a mixture of. It really could be a mixture of both. I don't know. I feel like it could be doctrine, but it could be regular. So this is why they're asking that. This is why they're kind of making you guess that. The IS-2, I'm guessing, will probably be actually a doctrine unit, definitely. In addition, we have worked on rebalancing existing maps, which is always good, and we will add 4 new multiplayer maps as well, which is awesome. So definitely more maps coming to the game, and they're already rebalancing more maps that are in the game. I don't feel like all the maps are unbalanced, and I don't feel like each side, like when one player starts on one side and one player starts on the other side, I don't feel like each side has a disadvantage or an advantage. I feel like it's quite evenly balanced, but I presume what they mean by rebalancing as in they're just going to maybe fix the terrain, or they're going to set the different capture points somewhere else, so both teams have maybe a fair chance of getting it. So I don't know what, it's kind of very vague what they mean by rebalancing existing maps, so it could mean anything. Okay, let's go on to the last thing, which is what's next. So what is next for this game? Now, this is the last thing that it will be in the game. What's next? Regular updates with fixes and improvements will continue to float, which is always good. Probably be like small, I presume the regular updates will be like the small hot fixes that you've already seen in Call to Arms or in the newsletter. They've kind of, before this big update, they've added like small updates, and I presume this is what they mean by kind of adding regular updates. But most importantly, after major update 1, more major updates are planned. Each of these will add new maps, missions, units, and doctrines, and more. So guys, that is it. I'm very excited to see what content update 1 has, or the major update has for us. And I'm very excited to see whether they'll make any changes before it's officially released, because I feel like some things are looking very, very strong in this update. All of it is mostly positive, except from the 1 or 2 things which could be slightly overpowered, such as that new scout, or whether not even it's overpowered, it's the fact that if the scout unit is even worth being in the game when you can just get a sniper that does exactly the same thing, I feel like. So something to maybe talk about, maybe the developers maybe talk about that, I don't know. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. So that is it for today. What do you think of the major update 1? Did you think there was anything that could be improved in this, or did you feel like everything was for what you expected? Or did you think maybe they could have maybe announced 1 or 2 pictures, or more, not pictures, or more units that could be added into the game that's not already into the game already? So that's it, guys. That's it, guys, for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you did subscribe, then I'll leave it on the screen right now. So thank you to everybody that did subscribe. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching and our support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.